I'll just start recording, since I am playing now. Did a few of the weapon quests off the background. That actually took longer than I thought it would. I was doing it with my niece, because she was down here visiting. We might do actual content today, VOD watchers. All three of you. So, get hyped, I guess. Well, we're going to try this trial first, and I have bad memories of this trial, so we'll see. I might be thinking of the other trial. I don't know. Like I said, we'll see, we'll see. There's a lot of trials in this game.
Rivali's Gale is now ready.
Okay, we have Rivali's Gale, we have buffs, we have armor, we have gear. We have all kinds of things. Let's see how this works, shall we? Because we're kind of locked on doing the rest of the shrines until we do more of the dungeons. I do love not having mid-mission checkpoints, so much so that I made an entire category of review for mid-mission checkpoints. Oh, haha, is that deft. Or Frakes. Okay, so. Healed, ready to go, saved. Let's see how we do. Well, too late. Let's see how we do. With no buff. Yep, neckers, as expected. Yep, now we're 7 years old. To the Blade's chosen hero, in the name of the goddess Hylia. You mean the three goddesses, right? You presently lack the power necessary to wield the true splendor of the Master Sword. You must fortify your mind, body, and soul by eradicating all obstacles that appear in this realm. In this illusory realm of sacred mystery, nothing can happen. By the way, there's another bit of insight. All the obtainer will be lost upon your return to the reality you know. Cool. Some people say that because they flat out call this stuff an illusory realm, that all the underground places are illusory. I don't know if I believe that, though. The rules are clearly different. Like, we're not actually here, you know? That's why we're naked and without our gear. Whereas in the shrines, we actually carry the stuff down with us. Well, I guess my overall point, Trihexia, is Hylia wasn't really, also true for you. Hylia wasn't really invented as a goddess until Skyward. Which is pretty recent in the overall timeline. In the real-life timeline. Damn, that's impressive, honestly. Trying to get over here to get their weapons. So we'll just do that. How many floors are there to this nonsense? Because, you know, I'm not doing 100 floors. That's insanity. I know what you're saying. Isn't it 100 floors in like all the other ones? Yeah, that's why I'm worried. At least in Wind Waker and Twilight, which we are also not doing, by the way, when we get there. So it is 100 floors. Got it. That's awful. Wow. Alright, whatever. In that case, we're definitely going to not go quietly. It's going to take too long. Really tell it's an illusion because nothing drops anything in this game, where drops are a huge core mechanic. Have any arrows? I do not. That's how the other trials work, Jello Leprechaun. Nintendo really had a thing for that in the GameCube era. Paper Mario 2 had a 100 floors trial, too. Spin to win. God, 54 floors. That's... We might not do that. We might not commit to that. That's going to be like the entire shift. Especially with no check... Well, very few checkpoints. We're like level 25, I want to say, Spartan? Something like that. We haven't finished the Jade Forest yet. Yeah, I think I lied to you, Blade Devil. No, I'm playing a warrior and a paladin. Max is playing a hunter, Sis is playing a warlock. Which one, Benjamin Button, if you don't mind sharing? What? I didn't like his singing. I guess his horn blowing. Ooh, okay. They'll be same thing as any seasonal character, Spartan. They'll be transferred over to the live server and just become normal characters. Probably lose all their special stuff in the process. I was hoping the tree would damage him. Oh well.
Yep.
Tell me about a history maker. If I had to go straight into tears immediately after this, I think I'd kill myself. Hey YouTube, Hitler suicide fascist. Hitler was a fascist who committed suicide. But for real though, I think I'd just freaking lose it. This sounds awful. Don't mistake me, I'm sure Tears is a good game. I'm even looking forward to playing it, but doing it right after this, oh. I am more than ready to be done with this game. Well, I have to do this trial, and that's it, Spartan. I don't... There's also DLC stuff that I'm a little more worried about, but apparently we can't do that until after the Divine Beasts, which sucks. So, I'd rather just do that now. Alright, sorry, actually we gotta do memories first, sorry. So, okay, I feel lied to. Okay. Ow. It might be here a minute. what thing specifically freeze him? Knock out his arms? I thought that was the only way you could reliably get up him. Because it automatically causes him to fall over. You can I might run out of weapons before I kill this guy. We might have to bomb this guy to death. I might. I mean, it's getting more likely by the second. Okay, we're okay, we're okay. Yeah, I've noticed, and this is not deliberate, I don't really lean on stasis that much. Oh, God, yeah, how many in that fight alone? Hang on, so it was the axe, then the sword, then the club, then the spear. And then... I think it was it, actually. I think it was it. Yeah, I'm... 2 clubs, excuse me, 2 clubs. There we go. Game. Well, let's see what we can cook. We'll just do the full. Screw it. Screw it. There you go. 4 minutes of buff. And then, let's just put... actually... You know, honestly, me too, History Maker. I know everybody says that they did it on purpose, and of course they did, but, like, goddamn, you know? I never expected this game to, you know, not have durability negatives. But even I am surprised by the number and quantity of them. Round 2. Boomerangs. There we go. Okay. I should have been expecting that. Those. That is going to be hilarious if it does, Spartan, but I gotta be honest, I don't think it will. I'm pretty sure Zelda 1 will score the worst of all the Zeldas. I will be shocked if that's not true. Zelda 2 might score worse. I made a comment last night, which I stand behind. I think Zelda 2 will score better than people think it will. But that's still probably going to be a net negative score. I just think people are probably expecting Zelda 2 to be like -2 or 300, and I don't think it's going to go that far down. What? Come on up to land. It's dry up here. Yeah, I was hoping I could bait him up. But no, he decided to be a dick. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Probably Jelly Leprechaun. Probably. What? You saw that, right? That wasn't just me? I know, I thought so. Oh my god, come on. Oh yeah, ice exists. You know, I keep forgetting ice exists, probably because it's really badly designed in the confines of the game. It's the only kit I have not given a positive for, because it kind of sucks. It's entirely too situational for what it is. Anyways. Like every other piece of kit, like every other thing on this menu, well, these three things, I guess. These are all very well designed, awesome, and have a lot of utility and combat use. And then there's ice. Okay. Well, that's irritating. Why are you aiming down? might be about to die. And, oh my god, I actually thought that was death. Okay, you're just being a dick now. Seriously? Seriously? Oh my god, really? That... Alright, whatever. Yeah, I don't think we're finishing this. And you know what? I'm okay with that. So, next bit of content. The memories. Let's go do that. Let's clear this. Or not. That's cool too. I mean, the Master Sword was always weak, to be honest with ourselves. There's a reason it can upgrade it twice in LTTP. I mean, the shrines at least are feasible. That just sounds like a waste of my time. This is just the worst. Okay, whatever. Okay, let's get our cutscene outfit going. Good evening, Jay Palmer. Let's go the wrong way. Very important, very important. Why are you climbing the tree? God damn it, Link. Did I already get the one here? God, I don't even know. That's just... I'm gonna assume we did, because I haven't seen anything this entire time. And if we did, it'd be like right around here. So surely that's what that means, right? So surely my map is just dumb. And we're just gonna move on. I feel like that's the correct call. A favorite tier set in WoW? No. I have like 20 favorite tier sets in WoW. Anything that isn't Hunter. Because Hunter armor is awful. And always has been. There's one here? How did I miss that? Oh, I think I deliberately avoided it. Right. That would make sense. Listen, all I'm saying is most most hunter suits have sucked over the years, and that isn't a thing that's changed anytime soon. Hey, Zalir. Thank you for the sub, as always. I appreciate the kind words. I will jot that down. If you give me a second here. Zalir SG. Let's see, that's the FF Audit block. Kingdom Hearts block. It's all blocks nowadays. And Beat 'em Up block. You got it. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, the J. Palmer block. When we play random PSP games I've never heard of. And give them all negative scores. Not because they're bad, but out of pure, unmitigated spite. I wonder what it's like being a normal game reviewer, for lack of a better way to put it. When you could just do something like that, just be like, ugh, I hate this game. 2 out of 10. And then, like, that's it. Call it a day, right? Like, imagine playing, because this happens, imagine playing a couple hours of a game like this. And yeah, and just make up random crap. I actually saw a review very, very recently of Little Kitty Big City, because I was curious of some details of something. And trust me when I say that no information was conveyed in that review. None. This is a game that has charm and atmosphere and never failed to make me less interested in seeing more of what was going to come up next. I'm not going to name the reviewer. I'm not going to shame like that. But, like, it was really bad. And the whole time I'm thinking, do you have anything to actually say? Is there any information in your review? Maybe I'm just misinterpreting the word review. Maybe that's my fault. I don't know.
That cut doesn't look too bad, actually. You're fine for now. But you know, there's a fine line between courage and recklessness.
Did we take down a frickin' Lionel?
As brave as you are, that does not make you immortal.
We took out 3 Lionels.
Not only is the frequency of these types of attacks on the rise, but the scale of beasts we are facing is intensifying as well. I fear that this is an omen which portends the return of Calamity Ganon. And, if that's the case, I'm ready to expect the worst. We'll need to make preparations as soon as possible.
Damn, past us was a badass. I don't think I could take down 3 Lionels at the same time. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you appreciate my mask gag. I've been waiting to do that ever since I got the Majora's Mask. Hem. But we don't want to be silly. There's no room for that kind of a thing here. Let's see. So let's go do this one. Those weren't even red Lionels, too, if you were paying attention. And considering the Master Sword probably had durability then, too. Absolutely not, Jelly Leprechaun. Give me my companion back. Give me Tingle! Behold, the champion... hang on. The champion of the wilds.
I come seeking help. Regarding this power that has been handed down over time, prayer will awaken my power to seal Ganon away. Or so I've been told all my life. And yet, Grandmother heard them. The voices from the spirit realm. And Mother said her own power would develop within me. But I don't hear or feel anything. Father has told me time and time again. He always says, quit wasting your time playing at being a scholar. Curse you. I've spent every day of my life dedicated to praying. I've pleaded to the spirits tied to the ancient gods. And still the holy powers have proven deaf to my devotion. Please, just tell me. What is it? What's wrong with me?
Bad parenting. Uh-oh. 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 I do feel quite bad for this Zelda, though. Legitimately. A lot. There's multiple Zeldas, just like there's multiple Links. The only singular was, past tense, Ganondorf. Up until recently, there was only one Ganondorf across each of the games. What am I doing? What am I doing? Where's my armor? Why is it split up like this? There we go, perfect. Yeah, multiple Tingles, multiple Links, multiple Zeldas. In most cases, it's a different Link each game. Now, there are a couple of exceptions to that. LTTP, Oracle, and Awakening, that's all one Link. And Ocarina and Majora, that's one Link. And Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass is the same Link. But why is it raining? You're lying to me, Jay Palmer. I know it. I know it. How would you lie to me? And of course, it's a thunderstorm. To be honest, I don't actually remember what that one looks like, Jay Palmer, but I believe you. Hi, Noctis. That one's okay. I'll give you that. It took until Legion for us to get a good hunter set. I think that says something. History of the Zora, Part 5. The Sage Princess Ruto is told by King Dorephan. Long, long ago, in the past more distant than even the Great Calamity or the creation of the Divine Beast Ruta, there was a Zora princess named Ruto. We know she was an attendant to the Zora patron deity, and she was a fair and lively girl, beloved to all. Around the same time, an evil man with designs on ruling the world appeared, bringing disaster upon Zora's domain. It is said Ruto then awoke as a sage, facing this foe alongside the princess of Hyrule and the hero of legend. Her achievements are remembered not only by the Zora, but also forever etched in the history of Hyrule. The Divine Beast, built ages later to face off against Calamity Ganon, was named in honor of Ruto. That the Zora Princess, my sweet daughter Mipha, was chosen to pilot Ruta is surely a work of fate. Oh, and also, bullcrap. If you're paying any attention to how they posit that timeline, what that would mean is that Ocarina happened over 10,000 years ago. Then they became super advanced. Then they built all their super mega stuff. Then 10,000 years of absolute nothing passed. Then the calamity happened. Then a century passed. And now we're here. Bullcrap. I have nothing else to add to that. Oh yeah, that's another thing. So you say that, a noble name, but the thing is, this game makes direct references to several previous Zelda games, including ones in different timelines. That's deliberate. And why they do that is up to you, but I'm pretty sure that the main reason why is because of the fact that they wanted to... It's what they talked about several times. That this isn't part of the timeline. Because they ditched the timelines, and because this is a reboot. And they just wanted to kind of, you know, be like, here you go, here's a reference to the previous games. We've actually talked about this concept before. If you add... It rains so much. If you add a... an Easter egg or a reference like that, that's not, like, canonizing, you know what I mean? That's not saying, hey, look at this thing that's totally true. If I could use a direct comparison here, FF10 and FF7 have nothing to do with each other, no matter what Insano Man has to say on the matter. I hate the rain so much. I hate the rain so much. Oh my god, I hate the rain. I have max stamina, by the way. Max stamina. Where is it, Frieza? It's right there. Yeah, the rain is so awful. Alright. I still don't have the climbing gear. Alright, where is this? Memory number 3. Oh, this is a DLC memory. Of course it is. Why are there DLC memories? Damn it, game. Alright, fine. Let's delete this for now. Is this a DLC memory? No. Okay, good. Uh-oh. I mean, in fairness, if IGN... I do have the DLC. If IGN gives a 10 out of 10, it only means one of two things. Either they were paid off, which is the most common type of thing, or they didn't play it at all and were like, oh, shoot, it's a such and such. We have to score it well. And if I can be honest for just a second, I actually kind of get that vibe. No, hear me out for a second. I cannot tell you how many times I have felt that kind of pressure to score a game better than I otherwise would because it's popular or because it's someone's beloved game or whatever. And that's an awkward and uncomfortable feeling, let me tell you. Because, like, let me make up an example. Let's say that there's a game called Game Boy Hero 3. Let's say Game Boy Hero 3 just came out. Props if you get the reference. And Blade Travol, that's his favorite game. Like, he loves it, he talks about it all the time, he's been so excited for the run, and the game's not that great. It's not terrible, but, like, the game isn't this amazing, fantastic game of awesome. And the whole time in the back of my mind, I'm sitting there thinking, just like, quietly withdrawing into myself as I feel more and more bad about the fact that I am not scoring this game better. You know? Like, it's just... it's a vibe. Nobody wants to be the person to score Ocarina as not the best game of all time. Including me, who has already done that. Probably Spartan, but I don't know your YouTube name, so which one was it? Yeah, nobody wants to say that Mega Man 2 isn't the best classic Mega Man game. Nobody wants to look at the latest big FromSoft release and say, yeah, it's alright. I still love Ocarina. That's the irritating part, Ross. I love Ocarina. That game is awesome. I am totally... I've decided I'm going to replay it. I am very much looking forward to replaying it. I am actually excited. And that's kind of why it's just so frustrating, you know? Yeah, we're going to replay Ocarina, we're going to replay Majora. I feel like the old reviews were a little bit kind of inconsistency, and also Ocarina especially falls into that sword and shield problem. Are you a sword dude? Nope, don't care then. So, for those of you who weren't there, we did a review of Pokemon Sword and Shield before the Oblivion line. But then we reviewed the DLCs after the Oblivion line. And Ocarina kind of falls into the same gap, because if you're remembering, we sort of had a double, sort of not really playthrough of Ocarina and Majora's. Mostly Ocarina, though. As a result of being before and after the line. And I didn't want to do Master Quest on camera, if you're remembering, too, so that was another related issue. Alright, who's ready to see the Hero of Time? Or, sorry, that's not the Hero of Time, that's the one from LTDP. I don't remember what he's called. I mean, the Mona Lisa isn't that great of a painting, I'm just saying. Ah, well, I did see that comment, Spartan.
Keep us in suspense. How'd everything go up there on the mountain?
So you didn't feel anything? No power at all?
I'm sorry, no.
Then let's move on. You've done all you could. Feeling sorry for yourself won't be of any help. After all, it's not like your last shot was up there on Mount Lanayru. Anything could finally spark the power to seal Ganon away. We just have to keep looking for that thing.
That's kind of you. Thank you.
If I may, I thought you... well, I'm not sure how to put this into words. I'm actually quite embarrassed to say it. But I was thinking about what I do when I'm healing. You know, what usually goes through my mind. It helps when I think about...
My one true love. I do like the speed with which he starts scouting the situation, by the way. Some nice competency. I always appreciate some nice competency. So as you can see, As they were getting ready, Ganon was already there and crushing Hyrule.
Sure.
Positive.
It's awake. Ganon.
Let's stop wasting time. We're gonna need everything we got to take that thing down. Now, champions, to your divine beasts, show that swirling swine who's boss. Link will need to meet Ganon head-on when we attack. This needs to be a unified assault. Little guy, you get to Hyrule Castle. You can count on us for support, but it's up to you to pound Ganon into oblivion.
Come, we should go. We need to get you someplace safe.
No. I'm not a child anymore. I may not be much use on the battlefield. But there must be something I can do to help.
I love the idea of these scenes. I just kind of hate the execution. There's a lot of little issues, pacing issues, storyboarding issues, voice direction issues. They're still good cutscenes, and they're still going to get a positive, but they stumble a lot, you know? These could be multiple positives. They could be positive per. Like, divorce yourself from the scene you just saw and put yourself into Zelda's head for a second. You have been told your entire life by everyone, I know we haven't seen these scenes yet, but you've been told your entire life by everyone, including your father, you have to fulfill this sacred duty, right? It's your destiny, it's your fate, it's been passed down upon you. No choice. And you don't want to have anything to do with that. You have a life that you want to lead. And it sucks to be you, because you've got a job to do. Okay, sure, fine. So you devote yourself to that job because you're a dutiful daughter. And you can't. And you can't. And you can't. And you can't. And as time and time... This is like the last one, isn't it? As time goes on... Yeah, I was going to say, this is the last one. Yep, that's actually memory 17. Yeah, okay, sorry. It just gets worse and worse. And worse and worse. And then, a more or less literal apocalypse shows up. Right over there. You have continuously failed. Like, imagine the mind-shuddering terror that should be going through your head at that point in time. Imagine the guilt and the blame you place on yourself for that. Like, that's powerful stuff that the cutscenes just aren't really fulfilling on in the way they probably should. Shut up, game. And yeah, don't forget that you're just kind of watching, you know, your home and most people that you know. I think we already got... Didn't we already get this one? Oh, whatever. Yeah, you should be completely losing it at that point. Okay, yeah, I was pretty sure we already got that one. Sure wish there was something indicating that, but whatever. That's true, a noble name. Although, once again, that's a bit of telling, not showing. Instead of, you know, showing. But I digress. Yeah, no, Zelda is absolutely the main character of this game. We barely see that. Yeah, Zelda had... I agree with you, Arspruce. Zelda should have absolutely lost her crap at some point or another. In the cutscene we just saw, there was one little point which I rather enjoyed. It's because it's silly Blade Travolta. And that was when she was physically, visibly losing it. Just descending into a panic attack. While Calamity Ganon was busy eating Hyrule. It's only there for a few seconds, but it's like, yes, more of that. More of those little details. More of those little showings of just how bad this situation really is. Don't tell me. Gotta get you up. Tell you what. New outfit, just for you, Litchfall. Just for you. As with so many other aspects of Breath of the Wild, it's this close to being really good, and instead has to settle for merely being good. And I know that sounds petty and pathetic, and I can accept that. But this is Zelda. Zelda doesn't usually have to settle for merely good, you know what I mean? Some of the best games ever made are in this franchise. Yeah, I can picture a scene. Yes, actually, no, 6 years. 6+ years, actually. I agree with you, Ross. I do think it succeeded. Again, merely good aside is still good. It's something I feel the need to reemphasize there. I don't want to say this reminds me of Dragon Age 2, because that's for all the wrong reasons. But at the same time, this reminds me a lot of Dragon Age 2. This game has no right to be as good as it is. Not really. A lot of people trying a lot of things with constant changes and hassles and frustrations. Multiple restarts of development under the hood. And yet it's still this good, you know? Inquisition's another good example, although I think this one will be a net positive game. I'm pretty sure it will. No kidding, Carolinas. Yes, we were the Twilight Princess the entire time. And these are all massively out of order because screw you. I've already complained about that.
Let up anytime soon. Your path seems to mirror your father's. You've dedicated yourself to becoming a knight as well. Your commitment to the training necessary to fulfill your goal is really quite admirable. I see now why you would be the chosen one. What if one day you realized that you just weren't meant to be a fighter? Yet the only thing people ever said was that you were born into a family of the royal guard, and so no matter what you thought, you had to become a knight. If that was the only thing you were ever told, I wonder then, would you have chosen a different path?
I'm with you, Junk Garage. I felt weird back in the day when I was covering this game for the first time, because of all the complaints I had back in the day, you know which one was not a complaint? Zelda herself. Everybody complained about her. Everybody said that she was just, you know, the worst and awful and I hate her. And I'm just sitting there going, huh? I like this Zelda. My heart goes out to this Zelda. And not just because I have parent issues as well, admittedly. Oh, sorry. Right. Yeah, I forgot you exist. Forgot where I was warping. Sorry. Let's just move on here. Don't mind me. Actually, Link has had a voice actor since Ocarina. Although it's changed a few times, obviously. But having said all that, I do think that... I do agree with Junk Garage. We just needed more of this Zelda to really make her pop. Actually, I did know that Anarchum exists. So Spartan has suggested giving this game a negative for external continuity. That's a tricky situation. Because... That's hilarious, Spartan. Because obviously, the fact that the creators continue to, let's say this how it is, pretend that all the Zeldas are part of one timeline is stupid and kind of insulting, if we're being honest with ourselves. We are smart enough to have figured out by now that all the Zeldas are not part of one timeline. One continuity, to be more accurate. So, like, quit it, you know? But that's not really in the game. And what an external... Oh, good. What an external continuity negative means is you have used your continuity of your setting or other prequels badly enough to warrant actually making the story axis worse by its by the way you did it. 1 second. Timeline speculation is fun, no judgment. I did it too. I suppose technically I still do it. I just disagree with the formal look at that now. But, sorry, I got a little distracted by that guy. The overall point I'm trying to reach is that I'm not sure, we can chew on this, but I'm not sure in this case specifically that this game is made worse by virtue of how it references previous games. Because it does reference them. If nothing else in the Zora stuff, right? And of course, being a Zelda game. Having said that, yeah, Freeze is correct. I was about to lead into this. Tears, we absolutely will be discussing continuity. For pretty much the exact same reason we'll be discussing it in Majora's, in Wind Waker, in Twilight Princess, in Phantom Hourglass, in Spirit Tracks. All the games that clearly, in the game, pull from a previous game. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm with Ross. Most of the references in this game feel more like Easter eggs than actual tidbits of background, lore, or world building. My opinion. So I'm leaning towards a no on this one, Spartan. The good news is, we've returned to our Deku roots. Hell, even Zelda 2 connects to Zelda 1, albeit very little. Zelda, stop looking behind you.
How did it come to this? The divine beasts, the guardians, they've all turned against us. It was Calamity Ganon. It turned them all against us.
I'm sorry to interrupt this cutscene, but this is what I'm talking about. You're flat out telling us rather than implying or showing us. And worse, this is all information we already know. Like, we're already, as of this point in the game, pretty much guaranteed, because we already did the plateau, we know the divine beasts exist and are a problem. We know that Calamity Ganon is the reason why they turned against us, and we've been dealing with it the whole game. Now, if you somehow manage to beeline straight from the plateau here, you don't get all of that information. But this is still repeat dialogue, even if we just completely beeline from here to here from the plateau. And there's better ways to showcase this kind of thing.
And everyone, Mifa, Urbosa, Rivali, and Daruk, they're all trapped inside those things. It's all my fault. Our only hope for defeating Ganon is lost, all because I couldn't harness this cursed power. Everything I've done up until now, it was all for nothing. So I really am just a failure. All my friends, the entire kingdom, my father most of all. I tried and I failed them all. I left them all to die.
And while I have issues with this scene, that's why my heart just goes out to this poor girl. Because she's been feeling that weight and that guilt and that burden pretty much her entire life. And now they're all dead. And if she had been able to do it, maybe they'd be alive. Now, from an outside perspective, we know that's actually a falsehood. We know that there was nothing she could have done in order to prevent this situation. The cards were stacked against her from word go. New Vegas reference. And so, she was never going to succeed. She did nothing wrong, but she doesn't know that. And yeah, and every her family, her friends, her livelihood, her home. She did save Link, absolutely. Like, even if we don't know the cutscene we haven't seen yet, we're walking around right now. I don't know if this is true, but I've always had a vague back of my mind idea that Zelda's biggest problem, other than the stuff that she had no power over, obviously, was she kept doing what everyone was telling her to do. Volley. Well, she was just doing what everyone told her to do. And the moment she actually started thinking and using her head and processing is the moment she started accomplishing things. And that makes sense because she's a frickin' scholar. You know? Why do I have no bows equipped? God damn it, come on. What is that? I mean, honestly, yeah. They need to get some actual writing talent into here. It's not like they don't have actual writers at Nintendo. To use a contrast here, the game we just played was Metroid Dread. And you know something that... Oh, it is Satori Mountain. I guess that means the mount's up right now. Although you cannot stable that mount, so it's a one-time and only. Anyways. Metroid Dread has a cutscene, which is pure exposition dump. And that's it. That's all it is. It's the scene with Quiet Robe. The first real scene with Quiet Robe. And yet, that scene is brilliant. They did so much right when it came to the individual details, right? The individual moments and the sequencing, the animations, the music, the tempo, and the information conveyed. And then Samus's response. And even how it ended and then led immediately into a boss fight. That was awesome. You can write... I know you can. Now, granted, I don't know how much of that was Mercury Steam and how much that was Nintendo. To which I bring up Mario Wonder. A game that is surprisingly well written for what it is. Oh, there's no big pathos, but it's still very tightly written.
From here, we'll make our way to Goron City. Then, we'll need some adjustments on that divine beast so Daru can manage it as easily as possible. He's figured out how to get it to move. However, it's apparent that we still have much more to learn. But to think that divine beast was actually built by people. That means we should be able to understand how it works and how to use it to our advantage. These divine beasts, so much we don't know. But if we want to turn back Calamity Ganon, they're our best hope. Tell me the truth. How proficient are you right now wielding that sword on your back? Legend says that an ancient voice resonates inside it. Can you hear it yet, hero?
Master, I detect a 90% probability that she is referring to me. Now I'm going to go and disagree with you on this, Spartan. Stab! Alright, there we go. Disagreement given. Oh, wait, I should probably actually give a... I've been analyzing fiction and games in particular for a long time at this point. And in my experience, good voice acting always adds to a work. Now, the hard part there is the word good. It comes down to an old concept, and this isn't universally true, but it boils down to, if you can't do it right, don't even try. Don't even start. So, to put that into direct terminology, if you do not actually have the ability to do your voice acting properly, then don't do voice acting, right? If you can't afford the time and the money, and most importantly of all, the direction, then don't. And so if Nintendo's stance on all this was exactly that, then yeah, they probably shouldn't have even bothered from word go. Exactly, Ross. However, voice acting positives are pretty normal when it comes to games, because good voice acting almost always adds to a work. Get back here. Get back here. I just whatever. Now, hi, Malkaiser. What? It's cold. Oh my god, I hate this game. Still cold. There. That's, honestly, I'm not sure, Ross. That's a tough question. Because I know FF10 will get a voice acting negative. Which is not what you're asking, and I get that. Since we're making the trip, we might as well do this. Where are these stupid things here? Well, actually, that's a good point. It might be voice direction instead of voice acting. Because we know a lot of those actors. We have the luxury of knowing that plenty of those actors have done plenty of good works over the years. Including those same characters in later games. Yes, that's FF10. Yeah, James Arnold Taylor is a great voice actor. And so is, the woman who plays Riku. I suddenly can't think of her name. Is honestly one of the longest standing voice actresses in voice acting. Tara Strong. Yeah, she goes way back. That would be awesome, Arspruce. Is it up here? And yeah, Joe DiMaggio, or John DiMaggio, sorry. I keep calling him Joe because at several conventions he would introduce himself as Joe. And so that just kind of got stuck in my head and I'm never going to be able to get it out. John DiMaggio. Laura Bailey, terrible voice actress. Travis, I forget his name, terrible voice actor. Infinite Spit. Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? It should be like right here. I should be staring at it. I am, of course, joking, Zactaft. Why are these not visible from a distance, by the way? So much of this game does visual distinction so well. And yet, we can't see the memories until we're 10 feet from them. So why did she question him there? Two reasons. First, that was early on in the timeline, so she hadn't actually seen him in action yet. And second of all, she's actually questioning herself. As usual, the Yiga are hyper-competent, except when they're not. Dumb cutscene. Has to be the last second, otherwise it's not dramatic enough. Yeah, don't even look at how badly her running animation was. 8 trillion light years? Yeah, I assume you mean like square light years or something, Gum Gum, in which case I have no idea. I've never thought about it, and I never will. As far as concept of empire being unsustainable, I assume you mean the empire, in which case, no, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't bother. If you mean the concept of an empire as human beings tend to do it, use it in real life, yeah, all empires fall. That's normal. One might even call it inevitable. It is vaguely weird to me how often Nintendo... I already have the green one. How often Nintendo likes to get this close to teasing their main characters as being romantically affiliated and never actually stepping over that line. The biggest examples, of course, being Mario and Peach, as well as Zelda and Link. Anyways, to answer your question in full, Malkaiser, the score is up to date. I don't know why they keep refusing to bring Midna back. I really don't. It's a strangeness. You like eternal blue ballsing, Jordan? I mean, okay, fair enough. That's a crude way of putting it, but honestly, that's pretty much exactly what it is. They're totally gonna get together. They're totally gonna get together. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It never happens. It's like, oh, what is that genre of music that does that? What is that crap called? That's another thing. It's different Links and Zeldas each time. They don't all need to be a couple. And yes, I know, the Skyward one and the, I believe, Spirit Tracks ones are pretty close to each other. But, like... I mean, they're not part of gameplay at all, and as I mentioned earlier, they show up at such a distance. Like, I don't mind this kind of thing. In fact, I like this kind of thing. This is cool. And I mean that with absolute sincerity. I like looking at this and being like, okay, where is this? Well, we've got a landmark, and remember, this game has great landmark design. So I can pretty much tell where that is right now off the top of my head. Did I already get this one? I might have already gotten this one. That's the one I'm missing. I apologize. I could hear something. Turns out, good hearing. The middle and the youngest were playing. That is the one in Harold Castle. We're playing on the gate, which is extraordinarily unsafe. So not only did that have to be prevented, but there had to be a talking to. Then I discovered that the youngest had found the Skittles and smeared them all over the floor. And this is ant season. Then the middle asked me to help her deliver a card to a friend of hers across the street. So I carried her over and took her across the street so she could go there. And then I came back down here. So if you're wondering why that was several minutes, that's why. I haven't really played a high mountain, no, Spartan. The first agile fight is so bad because it's boring. Good go. So, do the memories encourage exploration? No. The only way you could say that the memories encourage any kind of exploration is the same way you could say that Metroid 1 encourages exploration by forcing you to bomb every square inch of the game, or Super Metroid encourages exploration by forcing you to scan every square inch of the game. All three games make the same mistake. Go find this one tiny spot somewhere in the world, have fun. Yeah, Zelda 1 actually has this exact same problem, probably what they were inspired by. Again, the visible range is the main problem. Let me demonstrate very quickly here. So, I know it's here, because I looked up a map. Somewhere. It's here somewhere. There it is. Okay. You see that? I just want you to process how close we have to get before that thing actually pops. In fact, hang on one second. Okay, so there's the thing. That's what we're looking for. Look at how close we have to get. They probably wanted to make it harder to find on accident, but honestly, I think that was a mistake. Keep in mind, this is a game in which I can see that from over here. And in case it's not aware, that is right here. That is over halfway across the entire map. I can even see the clear silhouette of the tower at this distance. Never mind the fact that I can zoom in on the sucker, right? Now, I'm not saying you should be able to see these from infinite distance, but I do think there's an in-between. Like, look at that. See when you do that thing where it's, like, off-camera like that. See that? Because the lens filter. Anyways, I think there needs to be a higher visibility or maybe something else that helps you to just find these damn things other than, oh, hey, this is the spot in the picture. Don't mistake me. Again, I like the this is the spot in the picture thing. I enjoy being given a picture and saying, find this. It's actually one of the very, 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 very few things I like gameplay-wise in Skyrim. And I think Red Dead Redemption did the same thing, but you get the point, right? As for what to do instead, that's a little bit trickier. Maybe make it so that, you know, once you've gotten the tower for a region, the range on that thing... Oh, God, I can't even see it from this distance. The range on that thing goes up, right? So I could see that little glowing light from a larger distance. Like, say, maybe up on that mountain. So if I happen to be roaming through that area, like along that ridge over there, I can and probably would be looking around, and I see this glow down here. I'm like, what the heck is that? Something, right? That might be too much. I don't know. I'd have to chew on that. But either way, this is not great. Another thing they could have done, although this is questionable, they could have tied these memories, rather than finding a specific spot, towards completion. Maybe filling out the decks, the compendium. Maybe completing shrines, maybe completing towers. You accomplish X number of things, anything, and Link remembers something.
There's one. Oh, and another. The flowers we have in Hyrule aren't just beautiful. They're also quite useful as ingredients for a variety of things.
They would also let you tell the story in order.
This one here is called the Silent Princess. It's a rare, endangered species. Despite our efforts, we can't get them to grow domestically yet. The princess can only thrive out here, in the wild. All that we can hope is that the species will be strong enough to prosper on its own.
Symbolism.
Is that what I think it is? Look at this. I don't believe it, but I actually caught one. This delicacy is known to have very, very potent effects under the proper circumstances. Ta-da! Research from the castle shows ingesting one of these can actually augment certain abilities. We wouldn't be in a controlled environment out here, but with your level of physical fitness, you'd be a perfect candidate for the study. Go on. Taste it.
And honestly, can we get more of that? No, I like geeky Zelda. I mean that. Like, I want more of that. I want more of a Zelda with a personality. And that's all of them except for the one in the castle. So I think we're actually at the point now where we have to go... What is that? Right. We have to actually go and do story stuff. Or... No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Let us finally go back to this. I have certainly left her standing and waiting with that dumb, oversized helmet long enough. Ah, we're fine on healing items. I probably don't need any of it, honestly. I mean, I have my gear here. I'm fine. Take away my gear, we'll talk. So far I have done the Meadow, the air dude, the flight airship thing. The word place go. I don't know. And that's it. Because Rivali's Gale is just entirely too useful. Which cutscene's my personal favorite? Probably the one we just saw, although as I mentioned earlier in passing, I am actually quite fond of the one that we just saw earlier. The one where she laments the loss and death of everybody she's ever known because of what she believes to be her own personal failings. I don't have much in the way of heat-resistant gear, do I? Yeah, not really. Alright, whatever. So I think that person is stupid and dumb, Gum Gum. And I think that's the nicest way I could possibly put that. Wow, they detected me from a mile away. Okay. Nothing to see here, Mr. Steele. You know, that never occurred to me, a noble name, admittedly. Probably because that's kind of horrible. You've left me up here for like 7 years. I mean, in all honesty, it's been a bare minimum of 80 days because of all the time waiting we've done. And that's not counting the running around and actually doing stuff. So it's been about 3 months. That's what you really look like, huh? Yeah, sorry. With the Vauban from town, it's not very common for me to see someone like you. What a sight. Von Naboris is pretty intimidating. Nah. Want to get close enough, we need to use sand seals. You ready? Let's do it! Let's get going, then. Shoot its feet with bomb arrows. It's always bomb arrows. Do you have any bomb arrows? The Thunder Helm Kiln can repel lightning. It can also shield an area around me. You'll have to stay close if you don't want to be shocked. And if you're too injured to keep fighting, promise me you'll retreat here to the lookout post. Don't do anything reckless under any circumstances. Here's some bomb arrows. There aren't many, so be sure to put them to good use. That's 20! It's like 2,000 gold? I don't know. Anyways. Let's do it.
Sav.
Give me a bit of room, just for a moment. Yeah, sure. My name is Rigi, descendant of the royal line and leader of the Gerudo people. The power of the heirloom passed down in my family, I shall calm the divine beast Von Naboris. Ancestors of my Gerudo, answer my call. Aid me in this task. That's a small area. Oh wow, I can feel their power coursing through me. Let's move. I mean, why would that surprise anybody, Gungun? Please grant me and Link your protection. And we're dead.
Follow me.
Hey! 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 Ah! Hey!
Don't stray.
Oh, you son of a... Trying to get me killed there, lady.
Link, now!
Wrong bombs? Arrows? Hello. There we go.
Look out!
Oh, we're dead, because I can't seem to turn around. Turn! Turn! Jesus! And we're dead. Wow, we lived through that.
Here we go.
Whatever.
Over here.
Screw it. So I can live through that.
Now. Aim for its feet. Link.
Could you stop with that, please?
We move.
I'm not even 100% sure what keeps dismounting me, but whatever. Why do you keep leaning away from me the moment it's about to hit me? Why are you doing that? That makes sense. My own bomb got me there.
That's the way.
I can't believe that actually hit. No. Don't retreat. Don't retreat.
Ready?
Ah! You woman of female dogness. She left the moment I got up. That's it, isn't it? She just wants to get us killed. Screw it then. Screw it. No. Why are you asking me to retreat? Oh, there's still one left. God damn it. Yo! Eat it! Just in the face! Screw it! Screw it! Yeah, I was actually expecting slow-mo time, you know, like we got with the aerial boss. That threw me a little bit, the first shot.
Unfortunately, I cannot appease Naboris on my own. I have no choice but to entrust the rest to you.
If stasis works on that, that would be very funny. Yeah, did we have to sit and chat? We've got very little time here. Tick-tock, as they say. Get at my lightsaber and get up here. Maybe retreat. Riju. It's a cool sequence, honestly, Frieza. You know what would have made it cooler? This random idea. So the camel, the beast, is on a set path, right? Put some, like, essentially ramps along that path, right? And they're just part of the terrain. It doesn't really matter normally. But when you're doing this sequence, whoosh! And that's how you get your slow-mo moment, right? That would be the icing on that cake, right there.
You sure do know how to keep a woman waiting. I can't wait to see you take Naboris back from Ganon. One thing at a time. You'll need a map to find your way around.
And I'm going to assume this is your first dungeon. I'm going to try to pay... That is Urbosa. I'm going to try to pay a little more attention to the gameplay of the dungeon this time. Because the last dungeon was... I don't have a nice way to put this. It was so unremarkable that I didn't really notice much in terms of gameplay design there. So I'm going to try to pay more attention this time around. We'll see. Let's put on some real gear, first and foremost. If I can find it, there it is. I need to reorganize my damn suit. Can I just drop this? No, of course not. Okay, I have nothing on the verge of breaking. There's not really a glamour system, though. There's just, you know, some outfits look differently. See you around, Frieza. Have a good one. Or more, depending on how you define it. Okay. Lightning themed, of course. We've already had a wind themed dungeon, so this is our lightning dungeon. How often do we have a lightning temple in the Zelda franchise? Oh, Hyrule Castle is the best dungeon in the game, no question. Like, I could say that even just from memory. Listen, I've decided to destroy democracy, Mr. Red. I don't remember the DLC dungeon that well, but we'll do it. We'll do it. It's actually pretty much our next thing after we finish these dungeons. Because we've done the memories, or at least as much as we're going to. We've done as many of the shrines as we can at the moment. Although we are about to unlock, like, 4 shrines? Something like that. Bye! Actually, one of them is a bow. Sorry. No, at a glance, it makes sense why it would look like a spear. How does the Empire do voting? Properly. Voting is a complex thing, and should be treated like a complex thing. So there are systems and mechanisms in place to ensure that everyone gets a vote, obviously. But also, ranked choice is used for anything that is considered a major election, and plural voting is used for anything that's considered a secondary election. And I want you to imagine this, okay? I want you to imagine you're going to vote. Yeah, that's what I thought. We do the drum barrel. So you're going to vote, and it's like, all right, hang on. You get to the voting thing, which looks like a Kleenex box for some reason. Sponsored by Kleenex. And you're like, boop, 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 boop. And you're looking at it, and it's like, okay, here's your candidates for sheriff. Okay, so we're looking at it here, and this candidate is here. And obviously, they've got their name, and at a glance, there's a bunch of quick and efficient information. Which party they belong to is not in the at a glance. That's important. You don't want people just voting because of party lines, at least not unless they're willing to put the time and effort to do so. Now, if they want to do that, that is their choice, but they have to earn it. Instead, what you do is you have like their name, what they're running for, some other basic information that's relevant to whatever particular job they're currently running for, like how old they are, what species they are, how long they've run in this position, if it is a recurring vote, that kind of thing. But then you can also click them, and that pops up what is effectively a wiki of information about them. I should mention, by the way, everything I'm talking about is actually available in real life. If you wanted to be really in-depth about researching someone you're voting for, you can, at least here in the United States. You can get a tremendous amount of information about the people you vote for. But none of it's right there in the voting booth. You have to do your research on your own time beforehand. What I want is for it to be right there in the voting booth. I want to sit down and look at that and pull up that information right then and there and say, okay, this is how this person has voted on these issues. I can search for the types of issues that they voted for. I can see how many contributions they've gotten from what people, because all this is public record. Again, all of this is true in real life. All of this is already pre-existing information that we have now. It's like, okay, let's see, what else? This is what political affiliations they've had in the past, because a lot of people switch parties over time. This is what posts they've had. Again, all of this is public record. And you get the idea. Informed. That is the biggest word right there. Informed voting. Making sure that all of that information is there to make sure that the people can look at that and be like, aha! And decide based on that. Ugh. Now, there's actually more complexity after that, but I'm not going to go into that. No, I'm trying to build a working government.
Good work getting the map of the Divine Beast. The terminals that control Naboris are noted by a series of glowing points on your map. Take Naboris back by activating all of the terminals. You're ready for this.
I probably wouldn't go that way with it, Anarcho-Marxist. At least not if they're going to keep the story as is. I would have the opposite idea, the thing you posited earlier. They're all like, ew, gross, knowledge. There would also have to be several things. There needs to be additional layers on top of just the election process itself to try and remove as much external influence on voting as possible. Because, you know, that's bad. I don't know. I don't even know where to start with that. Because it no good. It no good. So it's each one individually. So let's do the obvious thing first. No, don't do that. No, there we go. There we go. Execute. Oh no, it's totally Rome's voting system. So you're rich, huh? You get a vote. I'm joking. Rome's voting system was actually kind of fascinating. But I don't want to get into it right now. The Roman Republic, to be more clear. The Roman Empire followed a lot of those same precepts, but started fiddling with them more. You know, I mean absolutely no insult whatsoever, Lord Airmont. But neither I nor any of my writers seem to have that particular problem. What it probably is you're just used to writing stories for, you know, other types of settings, you know, dystopian settings. Like most writers are. There's a reason why negative inclined storytelling is the most common type of fiction that exists, total, ever. There's a reason why the overwhelming majority of the time, if you see something and you think cynicism, or you think bitterness, or you think depressing, or you think whatever, it's probably true. How many stories are there where you see someone who's like, don't worry, I'm your friend, and your first thought is, alright, that's the bad guy. And it's actually a subversion when they're not. I'm not sure what the Galactic Republic's voting system actually is, to be completely honest with you. Or I guess I should say was. I sincerely doubt the writers of the AU have even thought about such a thing. You know, that's true, Savicom. It's a good way to put it. Let me use another example. Let's say that there's a person in a fictional setting. They're rich, but they're a good person. What's your first thought? Exactly. Either that's the catch, or what they're lying, or there's something horrible going on. Or whatever, you get the idea. I know, right, Loke? That's just, you know. There we go. Well, MLP is, of course, one of those positively inclined stories we were just talking about, or referencing, rather. Yep. Thankfully, I came in here with a full thing of arrows. And admittedly, a lack of familiarity is completely my fault, Lord Harriman. I keep thinking that one of these days, I'll actually be able to make that wiki to get some actual honest-to-God information out there about the extant. But that takes time. And I haven't invented time travel yet, so I don't have time. Oh, I know, Pillars of Snow. Isn't it wild? Ooh, what kind of pizzas have become? Other than gluten-free, obviously. Well, I have a whole channel. Actually, I have several channels dedicated towards it on the Discord, Spartan. Oh, I can tell Pillars of Snow is feeling amusing today. Yeah, but that's not as descriptive as you'd think. I probably don't have to explain to you. You probably understand that there's layers when it comes to voting. It reminds me of a meme we had for a while there about voting to vote. How people were tired of voting how to vote. It's a thing, though. Weird. I was just stuck on something, and that was all for nothing. I don't understand what happened there. I still don't understand what's happening. Yeah, first past the post, aka the objectively worst voting system that exists. Which makes sense, of course, because it's the Old Republic. And if there's one thing that is definitively true in both the EU and the AU, the Old Republic sucked. Well, that was worthwhile. Okay. Anti-link material. Well, then I'm afraid they are extremely wrong, Uthor. But you know me. I have no problem disagreeing with the creators of our work. I don't care how often you say the Zelda timeline is one timeline. You're lying to me. I am not aware of it at all, in fact. More aware of the French system of a similar name. This is not the way I thought it was going to turn, because I'm stupid, apparently. Whatever, okay. I'm not saying I disagree with you on Noble Name. I'm trying not to judge them since I haven't really even done them yet. That's why that's one of the question marks in the document right now. Worth it! Okay, so that's the last, like, 5 minutes of my life. Completely worthless. What am I even doing? Alright, hang on. Let me think about this for a minute. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, that opens something to my left, which is this. Cool. Well, this is going to sound funny, Savicom, but the general idea is that talented and creative people who study these kind of things for a living sat down and actually did a lot of test studies and cases to figure out the best voting systems, which, if you're paying attention, is the exact same thing we've done in real life. The difference is that they then implemented those systems, which we have not done in real life, at least not in every country. There are actually some countries that do implement, let's call it what it is, real voting systems. Okay, so this was another waste of my time. What? But there's clearly a thing up here. Yes, although I'm being honest with you when I say I'm not sure why yet, Savicom. One moment, please. For those of you not aware, I think you're right. Jabez. For those of you not aware, there is a line of theoretical thought amongst election geeks that all political systems sort of statistically eventually degenerate into a two-party system, in fact, if not on paper. In other words, even though there's like 18 parties or 3 parties or 16 parties, in reality land, there are 2 parties and they're the ones calling the shots. And there's a lot of reason to think that, but a lot of that is the realm of the hypothetical because no such voting system has been around long enough to really gather tangible data on it in practice yet. It's too new of an idea. But yeah, the basics of it is that power always consolidates. And so you have an 18-party system, or rather 18 parties in a system, and then someone's like, cool, well, you know, we should work together. It's a good idea. And there's some consolidation, and people start going, and at some point or another, people start recognizing that if you want to get elected, it's more likely to get elected if you join one of the big parties, again, in fact, if not in name, and people get discouraged either voting for or being a member of the parties that just don't get the number of seats. You could have a parliament of some sort or a senate where you have, you know, these people have 3 seats, these people have 5 seats, these people have 10 seats, and these people here have 30, and these people have 35. Who decides how the country's run? So, that's a little bit too much in the range of the hypothetical for me to be able to give a definitive answer why that hasn't happened in the Empire yet. And the Empire's certainly been around for long enough to qualify. It's about 2 centuries. Is it just me, or is this map less useful than the other maps? Well, let's do some stuff. Let's just screw around for a minute. Just making it up as we go here. Correct. Parties are like companies. They don't actually exist. You know, that's actually a good point. That's a really good point. Another thing to mention, too. This is something that I've been chewing on, and I don't have a good way to... I hate to use the word enforce. But an idea that's been mentioned a few times that I agree with completely is that a political government is supposed to be trying to come up with a compromise that fits as many of the people as possible.
Scale is now ready.
You know, you're trying to run the company, or sorry, the company. You're trying to run the country. You're not trying to win. And I know that sounds like a dumb distinction, but you probably understand what I mean. What's supposed to be happening is that people from different parties and realities and life and works and backgrounds and everything are getting together saying, okay, you know, let's get together and workshop a method of governments that works for our people. Instead, most political entities tend to treat it as a race. They treat it as something that is there to be won. Something where the goal is to make sure that you and your party have total dominance over the government, which is fundamentally wrong. I'm just going to say that as absolutely bluntly as I can. If we wanted one group of people who had total control over everything, we have that kind of government. We have a lot of history with that type of government. Another thing that comes up a lot is limiting fundraising and fund spending on voting campaigns. That's actually a kind of a fairly simple one, to be completely honest with you. There is a decent amount of evidence, not complete, that just getting rid of what do you call it? God, I can't think of the word. Campaigning. Getting rid of campaigning at all is actually probably a better overall solution than making any attempt to try and limit the amount of money people can donate towards a particular person's election campaign. What I mentioned earlier, That whole, you know, we have the information about what kind of a person this is and how they have historically voted and all that kind of thing. The general argument is that since we already have access to that information, I want to stress now, like that's a current, modern time thing. Is this where I just was? Yes. Cool. You know, the idea being you don't really need to campaign. You just look up who the people are, and either decide on party line, because let's be honest, that's what most people are going to do anyways, or actually decide based on how they vote, or how they have trended themselves. Okay. I can discuss the political realities of election systems and the simplicity and complexity of how that approaches societal governments and the construction of civilization. But I have absolutely no idea where I'm going right now. I don't even have a goal. Like, I know I've got those orange dots, but none of those are in any place I can even see. Like, usually I can at least see where I'm going. I have no idea where I'm going. Let's test something. Let's test something. Where am I? I'm over here. Let's do this. Nope, that's up there. So it has to be down. Let's try here then. It depends, Spartan. Believe it or not, and I've said this many, many times, the thing that bothers me so much about the 10,000 years thing isn't really the 10,000 years itself. It is the fact that nobody thought about how long that gap of time should be. And that feels like it should be on the ceiling. How the hell do I get in there? So the answer is and always will be however much time gap there should exist, dependent on the setting, depending on the circumstance of the timeline. Yeah, that's just funky. We're just gonna ignore that. Good examples of time gaps. 1 year, I know, in between Wrath and Kata. There's a good time gap. Do you have to groan each time I move something? Okay, that looks like I could get in from the outside. The Dragonflight time gap was weird. What is it, 1 year in between 10 and 10-2? That's actually another good example of a good time gap, I would say. Okay, well, we're gonna bullcrap this because I don't feel like waiting around. Link. Nah, Link. Naturally, I then end up waiting around. Okay. Hey! Now we're in. Just get the position. How big is the gap between this game and Tears? What do they even say? No, I have not, Melkaiser.
There are 4 terminals remaining. I'm counting on you.
Okay, well, we got that one at least. And then we're slowly scraped to death. Scrape. Okay. Seriously, wouldn't that just hurt like hell? In fact, I'm pretty sure that would literally kill you. That's stone scraping on stone, for God's sakes. Okay, so we still need to get up. I'm not sure how to get up, but we still need to get forward, and I definitely don't know how to get forward. Yeah, if you get your foot caught in that, it is gone in seconds. Yeah, just millstoned to death. There's a red smear. That's not what I hit, game! Okay. That's not the button I pressed. Damn it. I do blame the game. I will always blame the game. I know you disagree with this, Uthor, but I've actually found several times that if you completely eject Dragonflight, or sorry, if you completely eject BFA and Shadow, then Legion leads a lot more smoothly into Dragonflight. The 4-year gap makes a lot more sense if you presume that the 4-year gap happens from Legion to Dragonflight. But... Alright, so how the hell do I get over there? I don't actually know. How to get over there. Okay, remind me, Blade of all. Really, really minor irritation, and it keeps throwing me for this section. So this has a full 3D rotatable map, right? But the controls are reversed. Or to be more accurate, this is left and this is right. Which you're probably thinking, yeah, but this is left and this is right. Do you see the problem? The game allows me to change whether or not I have single inversion, double inversion, or single standard when it comes to my camera. But that goes away the moment I open the map, and so I keep screwing up. Because, you know, duh, essentially. Alright, whatever. There's one up there. I don't even see it. Oh, there. No, I actually do see it. I do see it. It's right there. I might be able to bullcrap that. Well, I probably won't think about it, Gum Gum, at all. So that's probably my answer to you. Crapped.
There are 3 terminals remaining. Hang in there.
Would you ever rewrite Zelda? Actually, I do hope to rewrite Zelda someday. That would be fun. At least I think it would be. Everyone else would hate it, but, you know. That's the nature of being a rewriter. Zelda's pretty low priority right now. I haven't even had time to do the rewrites I'm currently working on. Which is several. Rewrite which Zelda? Yes. Okay, so we've got all 4 of them. Yeah, someone mentioned he was streaming recently, Spartan. I hope he's doing alright. Oh god, I have no idea, Anarchomachist. This is gonna sound strange, but I put a lot of thought and effort into my rewrites, so I don't like just do casual off the top of my head stuff. Unless I have something prepped, which is the opposite of a casual off the top of my head thing. But if you want me to make something up right off the top of my head, Ganon was always evil. Demise doesn't exist. Zelda is a scholar who is also a badass mage. Link is dead. Okay, there you go. We're good, we're good. Okay, so I need... Let's do the first one. So that's the first one. I will admit, if you put a gun to my head, I probably wouldn't try to rewrite every Zelda. That's silly. Instead, I mean, could you imagine trying to rewrite all of Star Wars? That would be crazy talk. Instead, I would probably just rewrite the Ganondorf trilogy. Ocarina, Wind Waker, Twilight. What I change? Once again, I have put no thought into this, so I have no idea. Probably codify a few things. Shrink the timeline a little bit. Make Twilight a little bit more connected to the to Ocarina. Wind Waker is very well connected. Twilight is barely connected. Majora doesn't have anything to do with that trilogy, so I'd probably leave it be. No, there's just no curse. Here, check it out. Boom! There it is. Curse is gone. It's wild how easy that was. Okay, so... How do I... Oh yeah, I would take every good character, like Midna, and just instantly kill her. Just bam, dead, done. Like, Zelda would start, and Midna would show up and be like, I am here to save the world. But first, let me get out of these uncomfortable robes. And then, she's dead. And that's how Zelda starts, is Midna's death. And you know me, I don't undo deaths, so she's gone. I mean, yeah, I probably would, actually, Ross. That's functionally what happened anyways in the game. It just didn't have any real impact other than allowing you to interact with the light. And yeah, Ganondorf's motivation in Wind Waker is honestly pretty legit. Boom, done. Nothing else need to be said. Do I really... Okay. So... Whoop, 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 whoop. What the heck is a tetrarchy system? Would be my answer to you. There we go. Okay, we're okay, we're okay. We four kings of Bonnie and Clyde made a bunch of formaldehyde. Sorry. Okay, so I can climb up here, which I already did. I don't see anything else climbable up here. I was lied to. I mean, in fairness, you'd probably do a good Ruto. Her motivations are even pretty easy to well, easy to... Let me watch that back. I think you would do a better job of processing her motivations than most. Let's put it that way. There it goes. Well, it was intended as a compliment, so that's kind of why I wanted to restructure that a little bit. Darunia. I don't know, Ross, you still refuse to do any voice acting for me, so... Not that I blame you. I would absolutely give Link a voice, 100%. That's not even a question for me. Like, that's... The only reason Link didn't talk in LTTP is because, to be honest, he has no one to talk to in LTTP. Whoa, 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 whoa. God, I hate that. Alright, well, let's do it again. Because I hit back and decided to do... Whoa! Yeah, that's why for the LTTP theater, which, by the way, you should totally go watch, the bosses talk during the dungeons, but not Link. I originally had the idea of having Link be the majority source of dialogue during the dungeons. But the more I thought about it, the more I felt that wouldn't work. It can work in certain circumstances. See the Fallout 3 roleplay for a good example of that. But I felt like it just wouldn't really fit the tone and atmosphere of an LTTP. Of LTTP specifically. That might work for other Zeldas. I don't know. I am unashamedly proud, I guess is the word I'm looking for here, of the LTTP theater. It's one of the big ones I plugged. Where is it? I just heard it. No, you don't. I just killed you. Hi, Sean. That sounds like a good way to try and have gridlock. Also, it's Roman, and, well, I'm kind of with Ross on... Or not Ross, sorry. Uthor on that. Okay, so... The Paper Mario Theater, I kind of don't recommend. It's very much a beta of the whole process and concept. I was still learning editing and just some of the more basic stuff, like how to get the direction notes to the actors. Like, that's hard to do because obviously it's all remote, right? Like, I can't physically walk up and be like, hey, here's what I want you to do. So we were still kind of processing how to do it. You can still watch it if you want to. I'm not going to prevent you, but it is definitely the beta of the whole of theaters as a thing. I don't think... So, Mini Z isn't actually old enough yet to really process that she's a voice actress. Actually, yeah, Mr. Red. The Paper Mario Theater is very much a first game. Ironically, so is FF9. At least Chapter 1 or so of FF9. By the time we got to the end of FF9's theater, I had locked in a lot of techniques on how to really, really, you know, make that kind of a project work. This may sound like a duh, but the amount of organization that is required for a project like that is colossal. Like, I can't put into words how much work and time and effort is required to get all of the pieces in place to make one of those things happen. That's not bragging, by the way. That's just a statement of fact. Yes, FF 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2, and 12 are all a part of the FF rewrite. Why don't I use AI? Because I have a shred of integrity. I actually care about putting out a good product. Indeed, as a creative sort, that's the primary thing I care about. Like, I know you meant that as a joke, but no, I'm going to give you a real answer to that one. I wouldn't get too excited for FF12's rewrite being too similar to the original. This is a good time as any to mention that the rewrites are not intended as fix-fix, which I know is the most common thing most people think of when they think of a rewrite. No, 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 no. No, god damn it. Ugh. I mean, yeah, obviously I know blame, but I guess my overall point is a lot of people think that what I mean is, hang on, let's do an editing pass. Now, there's a value in editing passes. I don't want to sound dismissive. I myself have done editing passes over the years just as a creative exercise because it's fun to think about, right? Hell, I do that all the time during my reviews. We've been doing that during this very game. What if, like, going back to the earlier thing, what if Zelda had this one scene where she had, you know, a bit of ostracization on behalf of the people in Hyrule because she's such a geek talking about forbidden topics. But the kids are kind of interested, and that's interesting. And maybe that could be like a little thing of encouragement for her, but also maybe a little bit of discouragement too. And you get the idea, right? That's fine. That's cool, and I'm with that. But the rewrites is me doing my take on things. And yeah, I think you're right. I think earlier when we knocked out the Guck, it gave us access to this. Imagine if we got here and the Guck was in the way, and I'm like, how do I get rid of this Guck?
Just one term.
Thank you, Urbosa. Anyways, getting off topic. Sorry, I can talk about rewrites a lot. I love doing the rewrites, and I love the rewrite project. Plug, plug, plug. Exclamation mark. Rewrite. I highly recommend, if you're not going to watch anything else, I highly recommend you watch the RFF2 rewrite. It's the best one so far. It took weeks longer than it should have because I decided to actually do more visual presentation than I was otherwise going to do. But anyways. So yes, all of the FFs are being rewritten, and they're all connected. They're all part of the same continuity, and that's... let's call it a controversial choice. Leave it at that. I know a lot of people didn't agree with that, and we did have some honest-to-goodness drama about that, but after extensive thought on the matter, I decided that that really is the best overall choice, and for the best overall story. So, if you're wondering, the timeline goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 10, 2, 7, 12, 8, 9, 6. And that's going to be the order of events. I have the entire story's outline written out. I have each game's outline written out up to 10-2. I have the scripts written out up to 3, mostly. I'm not ready for 3 to be released yet. And obviously 1 and 2 they're out, they're done. One of the biggest challenges for me, and I've actually talked about this before, was I didn't just want to do continuity for continuity's sake. There's no point in that. That's a check mark at that point, right? I wanted, if I was going to connect the FFs, I had to do it in a way that mattered. That there's a significance to the FFs being connected to each other. And as I've mentioned before, I did this a lot with pillar design. There's central pillars to several of the stories. I don't mind telling you 2 of those pillars right now. One of them is Exdeath, and the other one is Genova. So the idea here being that Exdeath is a fairly major threat that technically predates most of the FFs, but almost everything that's going to be happening prior to the games even starting, prior to FF1 even launching, is something that is directly affected by what Exdeath is. I don't want to spoil too much right now, but let's just say Exdeath is not the same entity and just leave it at that. So, Exdeath is pretty indirectly the central pillar story arc of FF1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. No, Anarcho-Marxist. As a direct consequence... As a direct consequence, all of those games are kind of automatically connected to each other. But also... Get me through? There's enemies in here. Well, they're about to be were enemies, past tense, in here. Excuse me. And a fire. I don't want to give away too much. I'm debating how much I should give away. I just realized I'm sort of giving away major story points. So let me not give away stuff. Let me just talk in vague storytelling. So the idea is central pillars. So I mentioned Genova. Genova's the other big one because what I perceive as Genova is not a sentient entity at all. Instead of having it be some kind of alien, you know, Parasite Eve kind of a thing, instead, our Genova is just another word for cancer on a planetary scale. Our Genova is a direct consequence of far too much life stream being dumped into the world simultaneously as a direct consequence of X-Death. Keeping everything tied in, by the way. So both pillars are connected to each other. Genova happens because of X-Death. So, Genova is this horrible cancerous mass of energy. And it is traditionally cancer. It is life energy that is overgrowing, and all that implies, the literal definition of cancer. That's what I thought. A little bit. Oh, I actually don't even need it. Let's just do this. Let's go. Down. There we go. Well, it's not an old god. It's not some alien thing. There's no sentience to it whatsoever, just like there's no sentience to any cancer cells in someone's body. It's just cancer. And obviously people have to deal with that, but it can be used, because it is at its core a tremendous amount of life energy. Just too much. It's overgrowth, right? You can see how Shinra gets involved in all this. Now, Shinra, of course, has been around since before Genova, and in fact has some direct ties to the Kingdom of Baron.
Well done. That was the last of the terminals. Now, you'll need to start up the main control unit. Take a good look at your map. Head for the glowing mark you see there. You're doing well.
Yeah, thanks. I've done a dungeon before. Yeah, shut up. The Limsa Espers? What the heck are Limsa Espers? No! Okay, well, whatever. The Erp folk. Damn those Erp folk! I don't know what that means. Oh, the erotic roleplay people. Well, you keep referencing FF14, which of course has nothing to do with anything. So it's over there, in its own box, where it belongs. Now we just flip it, right? Yeah, now we just flip it. Switch up here. No. There we go. Genova will inform most of the bridge. No, we don't, Melkaiser. Genova will form most of the bridge between 5, which is the end of the first arc, and the next arc. The next arc is what I mentally think of as the War of the Triad. Now, you know, Blade Travol's right. The War of the Triads arc is primarily going to be focused on in FF12, FF8, and FF9. Which is collectively going to be the triad, the aforementioned triad. I'm not going to go into specifics. Again, I'm trying to avoid spoilers. But that's the next major arc. So we need to have a bridge between the two, and that's what Genova serves as. Genova is going to come up in FF10, in FF10-2, and very much in FF7, at which point Genova is going to become a solved equation, which is also going to leave several gaps and holes, both in economic infrastructure, but also political infrastructure, and personal power. And that's going to lead pretty naturally into FF12, the expansion of the empires. Any elements from FF11? Yeah, there's this one point where you have to just like run from one point to the other, and it's going to be like 3 hours of just this guy running and in the movie. That's all it's going to be.
On your edge, Link. This formidable adversary was made by Ganon, and brought me to a warrior's demise 100 years ago. Do not allow this to be your end. Fight for your life. And its death.
Absolutely not, Mr. Rude. What do you take me for?
This thing is fast. Watch yourself.
Listen, we've got to tell you that this thing was made by Ganon, okay? How would we know otherwise? Wow, that did damage to me? I'm honestly shocked. I didn't think it could damage me at this point. Of course you can, Savio. If you're going to actually give a real suggestion. That's because the Galactic Empire needs to be a cartoony villain that's defeated by children. And by writers who have no idea how to make a functional organization. They probably don't want to, while we're on the subject.
Watch that lightning.
Really, Urbosa? Are you sure I should watch the lightning? Oh. Okay, that just sure. Where is he? There he is. Where is she? I can't rotate the thing. No? There we go. Jesus. Where did she... Oh, God, of course she's up there.
Go!
Just cleaned in here. Yeah, no kidding, Lord Uramon. That's early.
I knew you wouldn't let us down, Link. Thanks to your valor and skill, my soul is free, and Noboros is ours once again. Which means that finally, we can complete what we started years ago. We Gerudo have no tolerance for unfinished business. I've waited so long for the moment to see you finally rush Hyrule Castle. As well as for the moment when I incinerate Ganon into a pile of ash. Which reminds me, I wanted to give you a little something. Please accept this gift, which has come to be known as Urbosa's Fury. It will no doubt be of use to you. Both you and the princess, I know you have suffered much regarding what happened to us champions. But this is how things had to happen. No one need carry blame. So please, make it clear so she understands that. Tell her to shed any worries. And let her know I couldn't be more proud of her. You take good care of the princess. Oh, and also, take good care of Hyrule.
No, there's no transmog. The closest there is to transmog is finding the outfit you like the appearance of, and then upgrading it all the way to 4 stars and hoping that the armor, the pittance of armor it'll give you, will be sufficient. Or just wearing what you want and, you know, being good enough to dodge all the attacks and not take damage. The fact that the legs come in is, I think, the thing that bothers me the most about this thing.
Noboru, legend of the Gerudo, celebrated over ages. And you, who were named to honor her. You are a legend as well. Isn't that right, Noboris? The bitter essence of defeat from a century ago still sits upon my tongue. But that is now in the past.
A link to the
It
past,
was
you might
written
say.
that Calamity Ganon once adopted the form of a Gerudo. And that will make this victory all the more satisfying. I like that. Now I can take this personally. Once we've established a lock on that thing, it will be up to Link to keep Ganon occupied until the moment we unleash our strike. That moment is going to be so delicious.
Please let me pause. It's dinner time, and I need to go get food. Please. Oh, thank God. Ham. Tomorrow, at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, roughly, we'll do the other 2 dungeons.